warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. All praise is due to Allah, the Lord of worlds, who taught us what we did not know and guided us to the path we never imagined. Respected guests, honored speaker, and dear seniors, and my hardworking fellow future doctors, a very warm welcome to all of you to this insightful session on NEET PG and Inicet guidance, organized by the Academics Committee of IMSA. Let us just pause for a few seconds and disconnect from everything around us, because what we are about to hear are not just ordinary words, but the kalam of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the same words that transformed heart, the same words that turned ordinary people into best of humanity. In a journey like ours, filled with stress, competition, comparison and self-doubt, we search for motivation in books, for strategy in videos, but true clarity, true peace comes from the Quran. And Allah also reminds us, indeed, in the remembrance of Allah, the heart finds rest. Then this, right now, is our moment of calm. So let's listen, not just with our ears, but with our hearts. Let every word settle within us and bring sukoon, clarity, barakah into this gathering. Inshallah. Now, I humbly invite Hamza B to present the recitation from the Noble Quran.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. إنا عرضنا الأمانة على السماوات والأرض والجبال فأبين أن يحملنها وأشفقن منها وحملها الإنسان إنه كان ظلوما جهولا. ليعذب الله المنافقين والمنافقات والمشركين والمشركات ويتوب الله على المؤمنين والمؤمنات وكان الله غفورا رحيما. صدق الله العلي العظيم.
Jazakallah khairan kaseera for that beautiful and heart-touching recitation. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make the Quran a source of guidance, noor, and shifa in our lives. Ameen. In our journey as a medical student, we often run behind marks, ranks, and competition. But today, let us correct our intention. We study not just to become doctor, but to serve humanity for the sake of Allah. Because actions are judged by intention, and every person will get what they intended. Sahih al-Bukhari and Sahih Muslim. With this beautiful reminder from the Hadith, now let us understand the vision behind this gathering. Before that, let me take a moment to introduce the platform behind today's initiative, the platform that connects faith with academics, that is IMSA, an initiative of Medicos for service and academics. IMSA is not just an organization but a vision where medicine is not only a profession but a responsibility. A vision where knowledge is guided by faith and service is guided by sincerity. IMSA brings together medical students across Telangana with one powerful aim: to grow not just academically but also spiritually and ethically under the guidance of Islam. The objectives of IMSA are truly inspiring to integrate Quranic principles into the study and practice of medicine, to create an environment of guidance, learning and holistic development, to empower students to make a meaningful contribution to the society. Because at the end of the day, being a doctor is not just treating disease, but it is about healing with compassion, serving with humility, and working for the sake of Allah. As beautifully said, guided by faith, driven by service. With such a noble vision behind this gathering, let us continue this journey of learning and growth together, inshallah. Let me ask you all honestly, have you ever felt too many resources but which one to follow? Everyone is giving advice, but I feel more confused. Am I doing enough? I'm already late. If yes, then trust me, we are sailing in the same boat, but just unknown to each other. And that's why exactly we are here today. Through this session, we are gaining clarity on NEET PG and Inicet, focus on high-yield topics, learn to balance university exams with PG preparation, and improve our revision strategies while building confidence. As we move forward, let us remind the beautiful teaching, Tayyat Amru first and trust Allah. Let us put all our sincere efforts and stay consistent, make dua, and more importantly, trust the process. Every effort you make truly counts. It's a truly pleasure to introduce our speaker for the day, Dr. Mohammed Khaleel. With over 23 years of experience in microbiology, Sir currently serves as a professor and head of the department as well as academic head and MEU coordinator at Mahavir Institute of Medical Sciences. An alumnus of Gandhi Medical College, he has impressive academic profile with over 30 indexes publication, a patent, a contribution to standard textbook. Sir is also a respected speaker who has presented India at both national and international levels. We are honored to have you here, sir, today. And we look forward to learn from your valuable insights. So without taking much time, I request Dr. Mohammed Khaleel, sir, to take over the session.
फोन पे
ये भी ले लो।
हाँ ले लो। I'm audible? Yeah. Assalamu alaikum. Yeah. The big question, why me? Even I have asked myself, and it might be a big question for you also. Why not a person standing before you who is All India rank 1, talking about this topic, or a person from medical and allied or surgical and allied? Then it was a long wish that if not me, why not you, is what I asked myself. But Alhamdulillah, I have no regrets me taking up as MD Microbiology as a specialist, because during that time I even had forensic medicine, which was my passion, but my wife stopped me from talking about 1995, where she said it's a field where you might astray from our religion, because it involves a lot of corruption and addictions. You may not be able to justify for your akhirah. Then I also had dermatology, but she took up dermatology. So I sacrificed because I don't want both of us to compete. I don't know why it struck to me. Then she was most interested in clinical, a specialty where you do not have emergencies and night duties. A very intelligent move, so that she can justify a family and also a job. Then I don't know why I got inspired with my teachers during my MBBS years in Gandhi Medical College. So teaching was my passion. So I think MD Microbiology would suit me, because this is another field in laboratory medicine where you do not have emergency and night duties, because bacteria is very doctor friendly. It grows only after 48 hours. So both were well settled. We both grew. With time we started a life behind Gandhi Hospital. I have 2 kids, one daughter who is doing 3rd year Malaredi Dental College. She is sitting before in the first bench. And I have a son who is preparing for NEET UG. Alhamdulillah. So content in life is also important. I have grown up leaps and bounds Then after I finished my MD from Gandhi, then I joined Shadan for 8 months. But I thought it was not my place of choice to grow and progress. Then I shifted from Shadan to Deccan Medical College. There I served for 15 years. 2022, May 15th, I resigned. Because if you start working for a long time, people take you for this. But I thought, considering the community, the religion or whatever it is, and the political whatever, I try to give my best. But at the end of the day, what matters is your family and your growth and progress. So one of my colleague friend who was very junior to me, who dropped in one day and, sir, what are you doing here? I didn't understand your question. And you love your company, but at the same time, company doesn't love you. You might be talking like OSC Hospital or Deccan College of Medical Sciences, yeah. But you are a hot cake outside. You don't know, you don't realize what you are as of now. And I strongly believe you have wasted much of time over here. You have given your service. It's time to move on. You know, God sent some person to give you ibrat. Then suddenly it struck to me that one minute of his discussion with me changed my entire scenario. And I had to resign, and in spite of a lot of requests from the management to stop, we'll give you whatever you want, we'll give you what you want. What do you want now? You want monetary benefits, we'll give you. You want position, post, everything we'll give you, but don't leave. You are an asset for us. Well, I've watched a lot of interviews in YouTube, and I've bought a lot of books. What to say when somebody asks why you are resigning? One solid answer: personal reasons which I cannot discuss as of now. Because if you just one thing, if you disclose, no, they'll catch you on that. So that's how, by God's grace, only I prayed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and my parents, I asked them to pray that I should not meet Akbaruddin Owaisi. Because he was very close to me. I taught his son, and Owaisi, Asad's daughter also I taught. But if you know, big people, if you start with them and if they request and you don't say no, it'll be a different ball game. That's only one prayer which I asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and asked my parents also to pray that he shouldn't call me for discussion or for some request. And that happened. By God's grace, I moved. Then I joined Mahavir Institute of Medical Science. A lot of calls were coming from all medical colleges. Suddenly, I didn't resign only from Shadan. I got a call. Bhai, hum sune aap resign kare, hamara paas aa jaldi. I'm not boasting myself, but then I realized this is what happens. Malardi, where are you? Did you give the originals? No, you please come here. How we cannot lose you? It will be great. So Mamta and all RVM, this all. Finally, one of my junior colleague, who was in Medicity, resigned. He also came to know I resigned, and he called me. Sir, एक बार आके तो देख लो आप, because आप इतना काम कर चुके, इतना काम थक गए आप. You have worked so much in administration, in academics. You are growing leaps on, but I think it's a time for you to rest. And you have a HOD post here. Cool, you come down to Vikarabad, which I've never heard in my life only. I never thought in my life I'll go to Vikarabad also. I don't know where Vikarabad is also at that time. I'm talking about 2022. So I went with my wife, my father, and it was 67 kilometers from my house. I went down, but very peaceful hill station, peace of mind, and HOD post was empty, and the room, everything he showed. I think this is the time where I step back. I just rest and try to deliver as a HOD post. So finally it was okay, and I joined Mahavir. It's past 4 years. Obviously your talents, your potential, your hard work doesn't grow waste. You have to maintain a low profile. You just have to do your work. And I was promoted by the director himself, looking at my work, as Vice Principal Academics 2 years back. And recently, I think 15-20 days back, they have made me in charge dean. So how days and years will work up, we don't know. As of now, the person whom they nominated is in US. She might come in June, but as of now, I'm the in charge dean for a medical college. It's a great honor. So what I mean to say is, you don't have to just regret yourself or like might be pre-para or whatever it is. That's why what I say to all my students, whatever you do your best. In that you should be the best. No compromise. It could be anatomy, it could be anything, physiology. Now you know what's the demand of anatomy? Forensic medicine, it's more than clinicals. You don't have a forensic staff at all in medical colleges. You have only one professor HOD. You ask 3 lakhs, 4 lakhs per month, they'll give you. Anatomy, SPM, forensic, this is still hotcakes. Forget about medicine, surgery and all. So this is one ball game. I'm not degrading or not regretting, but the job satisfaction and the thrill will be there in the clinical. There's no doubt about it. The blood which you see and that suture, that satisfying of the patient recovers, that is a different story altogether. But here also you have a different ball game. So having said that, this is my journey, Alhamdulillah, till now, and I had been very active. In the day and all, a lot of your seniors, my students who are the members, they ask me, sir, we know who you are, but we want you to deliver lecture. It's past 1.5 years, 2 years back we met, and this year he has consulted few of your friends and they asked, Khaleel sir ko pakad ke lecture lene lagao. He is the person and it will you'll get inspired. So I said okay, and we planned it up, and the day came today. So that's how it started. Let's go to the next slide. Yeah, the salient features are like what I'm going to teach you is like next. We will have a clear understanding, crystal clear understanding of the dynamics of PG, NEET and INI-CET. There are some changes and updated which I'll update you. A practical phased 4-stage study plan which you can start as of today from this month. There's a 4-stage plan. You lot of have 3-stage plan, but I have a 4-stage plan. What is the major differences between NEET PG and INI-CET? How do you balance your NEET PG and your university exams if you are a final year, or balancing and justifying your final year and internship, or internship and your NEET PG, and also talk about how government medical colleges and private medical colleges play a role in your preparation. And finally, we will also talk about high yield focus topics, how the strategy to go about that might be you if you are in first year or second year or final year or internship, whatever it is, and your resources curation, which resources you have to look it now. Yeah, please have this. This is a big question which anybody can ask me now, or it strikes, sir, almost बस हंसते खेलते तो गुजर गए MBBS. अब कहाँ किधर what happened we don't know. This program, this all personal problems. It was a very lullaby time and all, but now we have almost come to the verge. Now our tachycardia, we have whatever pulsations or heart rate is increased, and it's almost. But good news, it's been postponed, I think, till August 30th for the NEET PG, but INCET is the same date. So, having said that, is it doable if I start now? It would be the big question which you might be having no regrets that so much time has been passed on. Yes, definitely. If you don't have that guilt that what has happened, first remove this. Jo ho gaya, see, it's in our religion also, what's happened is happened. We cannot do anything on that. But at present, what has to be done, how it can be done is what the questions we should ask. Yes, it can be done. So stop wasting time on your guilt and start doing it. Take your pen, put it on the paper, document it. Don't keep on thinking कि आपके सोच इतने मजबूत हो जाए और आपके इरादे कमजोर हो जाए. You're just thinking so much and you have, put the pen on the paper, draft a timetable, put a schedule. So what you can do, if you are starting today for your NEET preparation, start solving your previous year's question is the first thing. Collection of all the previous year's questions, like 2019-20, from that batch you can have collection of that. Then you start attacking the grand test performance. Please do your grand test and look at your performance, your graph, how it is going down or up. Then the special hidden secret is the 20th notebook. Anybody has an idea of this 20th notebook? You have a red diary for police. You have a 20th notebook you should have for your NEET PG preparation. Nobody has any idea? Yeah, what is it exactly?
All subjects compiled in one.
All the
subjects, all the 19 subjects compiled in one.
Noting down our mistakes.
Yeah, exactly. So you have 19 subjects, but 20th notebook is your book. You are the author of the book, which you mention all the mistakes, unsolved, new questions which you have doubt, you don't understand, or you have to rote learn by yourself. So you prepare those. 20th notebook is your book, is your secret book where you are not able to recall them, or you have to keep on repeatedly see them, or you have done mistakes, make a note, or unsolved, or new questions, new updates, you have to maintain that. That is called your 20th notebook. So every NEET PG should have this, student. Next, the wrongs, the guess. See, you do a lot of questions, which there are 3 categories, which you know, you definitely know. Like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock also, if you wake up, if I ask you this question, you will tell. Mannitol salt agar, staph aureus, Pike's media, streptococcus pyogenes, anything you can just solve. But there are some questions which you have to guess. You're not sure. And always when you do this, it's a guess only. you thought, I did it, but again now I'm not able to recollect it. Or might be 3 are right, 1 is right. So guess questions that you have to make a note in the 20th notebook. All wrong questions have to be note in the 20th notebook, which you can't help. Some questions are which which structure of the envelope will help in preparing in HPV vaccine, L1. There are so many things in life, we don't know how they are going to help us in life. Your physics, chemistry, maths and all. Our education system is such built that I don't know how it's going to help us in future, because we are doctors. I think our career depends upon our super specialty or training subjects. But L1 or indole, MR, VP, citrate, I don't know how these things, at least gram stain, bacteria, virus means it's okay, but there's a lot of things which doesn't help. So can't help things also you have to make for your exam clearance and success, right? It's helpless. You have to go through that. And last is consistency. Now these 5 points are you to answer or address this question, that is it doable right now? Because you have got April, May, June, July, August, 5 months. For those students, this is the answer. Right? Can we move to the next slide? Yeah. The challenging, why it's big challenge? Because, but Alhamdulillah, you don't have 25 lakh students like your NEET UG. You're already cleared that pathway. Stage 1 of your life you have cleared, but your entire life career depends upon what specialty you choose. Now that is your bread and butter. That is your bread and butter, not your MBBS. MBBS is just a training phase where you don't feel like you have done a great job or you settled down. No, I'm sorry to say that, but your entire correct life starts after your MBBS when you choose your specialty. That's your bread and butter for your lifetime, unless otherwise you want to do super specialty. So 2.5 lakhs approximately are writing annually, out of which 60,000 seats are there. But if you combine all India NEET DNBs and all, there are about 80 seats, 80,000 seats. If you are talking exclusively of NEET PG, then it's about 59, 30 is government and 25 is your private medical college. It's a combination of which gives about 62, something like that. I'm not going by the exact figures, but you also add DNB and your PGI Chandigarh, AIMS and JIPMER and all the CMC Vellore and all, then it amounts to 80,000 seats. Lot of seats are being increases. Good news, most of the medical colleges, because I am in the administration post, I can say most of the medical colleges in Telangana also have about 8 to 10 colleges recently, even including my college. They have gone for increment of seats. We had 29, we had 31 last year, now we have 51 seats 2025. NMC has gone for more increase, so we are going to 60, 70. Shadan, VRK, even they have gone for PG's ION seats, they also have got permission. We are just waiting for NMC. Patna Mahindra Reddy. So many, that's a good news. So that numbers might increase more, 62. Then we have what is the target? 200 MCQs. And your time is 3.5 hours. That is what counts for your entire annual preparation, or whatever is you have come to so far, is what counts is your 200 questions and your time of 3.5 hours. Next. So strategic preparation. It's not hard work. Hard work is there's no doubt about it, but smart hard work. So strategic preparation, which includes discipline, your consistency and focus. These 3 things, at least it's a wake up call to pull up your socks and think, if not now, when? There are 2 choices from here which you want to be able to decide. If you get the rank, you can study for future. If you don't get the rank, your parents will decide your future to get married or what to do. 1, 2 chances they can give you maximum, because they can't wait and the relatives are asking or friends are kya maybe what, like you are crossing 25, 26, 27, 28, 30, whatever it is, because our struggle is different. Everybody knows our story. So you have only 2 choices. So it's you who can decide. At least 1, 2, third attempt maximum you can give, but settle down in third attempt. So understand the key differences is, next slide. See, NEET PG is in August 30th, 2026. You have next 200 MCQs in 3.5 hours. Conducted in 5 blocks. This is the latest change I am talking about. Initially you had all in one stretch. You have total 3 hours and you can edit, you can subtract, add, multiply, whatever it is, and then you have to submit at the last. After your 3 hours, 10 minutes or 15 minutes, whatever it is. NEET PG was like that. But now the pattern is changed. It's more of a tough. It is a tough call. You have to be very meticulous, because you have 5 blocks. Each block consisting of 40 questions. Next slide I will elaborate more. And with 42 minutes each. So you finish your 42 minutes, the block gets closed. Automatically. It goes to the next block. You don't have to do anything. Any edit changes you have to do within this 42 minutes only. Initially you can do like 172 minutes also, you can come to question number 1, you can do it. But now that there's no option like that. Whatever you have to do within 42 minutes. And it opens the next block, say it applies also to the other box simultaneously. Yeah, it happens once a year, covers most government private medical colleges across India via the your medical council committee, that is from NMC, and also your state council. Then your question style mostly depends, broad syllabus coverage, it covers almost broad, it doesn't leave must know areas are maximum, a mix of direct recall and clinical integration vignettes. So NEET PG consists of direct recall. I mean, you just, if it strikes you, it strikes to you. If it doesn't strike you, God only help. In NEET PG, you have that kind of questions. Direct recall, and it's only a calm mind with a good sleep, where you have discussed somebody or you listen to somebody, those students can recall. But people who have studied overnight or just 1 week before, they are stressed out, burnout, they will able to 100% not able to justify the question. They will come outside and scratch their head, but it was such an easy, I don't know why I slipped my mind, I was thought it is this, but it is nephritic or nephrotic. So small spellings or synonyms or changes that will mislead you. INSET, it happens biannually, May and November. 200 questions next in 180 minutes. So you have a continuous and often divided in 4 time parts of 50 questions, twice a year, exclusive to Institute of National Importance, AIMS, PGI, JIPMER, NIMHAMS, and question style here are highly concept driven and heavily image based questions are being asked these days in your INI-CET PG exam, and also strong emphasis on integration across multiple subjects. If you just study an organism, you should study system wise, like Staphylococcus aureus in soft tissue infections, in let's say skin infections or STIs or respiratory tract infections, like that you have to have a very broad picture. Once things strike like it's going like this syndrome, Reiter's syndrome, urethritis, conjunctivitis, Jongren syndrome, like you have to have that kind of view for INI-CET. But believe me, if you secure a seat in INI-CET institute, nothing like that. I mean, it's a different lifestyle and different, once you finish from the National Institute of Importance, I cannot express words, and you have that, upper hand over the other students who are doing from the states or the local universities. The clinical material matters, the faculty matters, the curriculum matters, and your super specialty matters. You get inspired, you want to do super specialty at that area only. And stipends are awesome, too good, and I mean, there's no end to it. Next, instructions for NEET PG exam. This test is divided into 5 parts, as I said. That 5 parts has part A, B, C, D and E, and each part will have 40 questions which you have to complete in 42 minutes. Once you finish or do not finish, the screen closes and it goes to the next block. But the submit button will be at the end of E block after end of 42 minutes. It will automatically, like USMLE you had blocks, it gets closes. Next, the next part will start automatically after you complete the previous part when the timer for a part runs out. You cannot review or modify your responses for a part after you complete the allotted time. That's a bad news actually. Next, you will be able to submit the test once you complete all the parts. So this is the latest update of NEET PG exam. The weightage. Now this is one of the most important slide or which I want students to focus. The high weightage areas, which subjects you have to focus more, or when you start hit early, hit hard concept. It is basically the pathology, community medicine, surgery, OBGYN, pharmacology, which has about average 18 questions, I can say 18 to 20 questions are being coming as an average. These questions are being coming from these areas, high weightage. Then you have other subjects like microbiology, biochemistry, pediatrics, microbiology and biochemistry, which is about 15 to 12 questions, because during our time 2004 and 5, 6, 7 there were about 5 to 7 questions from microbiology. So students and also faculty only 5, 6, 7 questions. Microbiology, pathology, you had only 5, 7 questions. But I was very happy when this NEET PG started and the numbers increased from 10 to 12 to 15 now. So for me, it's a good news. For pathology people, paramedicals is a good news. Biochemistry is also good news. I mean, you have to focus. People from first year itself, you have to focus on these areas, preclinical and paraclinical areas, where you have 45 questions from the microbiology, the pathology, your biochemistry part. Then you also have anatomy, especially the neuroanatomy part, which I'm going to talk, physiology, most of core concepts. Then forensic medicine also have increased reasonably from 4 to 5 to they have double up. You also have, next slide, there's something called short subjects areas like your orthopedics, ENT, ophthalm, psychiatry, radio, dermatology. So these are the down part. You have to put these subjects at the low must know areas. I mean, to less secure marks, 5 to 7 marks. If you are trying to focus, then so basically starts with the very high weightage, then come to the high weightage, then come to the moderate weightage, then the low weightage. So top 6 subjects, because why I am telling you this, because top 6 subjects they constitute about 50% of the marks of your papers. So if I count, they are like 110 to 125 marks, the very high weightage, 125 marks. Though there is a negative marking, but if your preparation is very solid, if you score at least 110, 120 or 100 also, you are at least through, and you can then go to the high weightage, then the low weightage. So that your preparation, your first things should be first focused. So I would like students to focus on the very high weightage marks area. And the first year and second year subjects, which most of the students usually neglect, because either they are more volatile or they are very dry, or they might have found teachers who are very inspiring and teaching them NEET PG oriented subjects from that. They only come teach PPT and go, and it is like foundation or fundamentals for them. You hardly find some teachers where you have them talking about NEET PG from day one itself, which I do, alhamdulillah, since from the time of Deccan. So today also, believe me, on my phone I received messages. 5 days back also, one of the student message ki I got seat. They are in touch. I mean, I got, alhamdulillah sir. Or after the exams, they give a comment ki the microbiology which you taught in secondary MBBS, there is no need for us to recall and remember. We still retain it. The way you talk, the way you give mnemonics, the way you update, and the way you present your classes really help us out for your NEET preparation. That also has happened in Mahavir and other colleges also. So that's good. So you should have teachers. You should look out for those teachers who are oriented in your medical colleges. So secondary subjects constitute about 40 to 45%. Lowest scoring subject would be anesthesia, where consistently they are asking not more than 4 or 5 questions. So if you don't have time, or you don't want to want to focus more on other areas, you can neglect it. Or if you have time, or just take out 10-15 minutes, you can just do the PVQs and stop for anesthesia. You don't have to go or spend much time on anesthesia. Next slide. There's another important slide, short subjects. Sir, short subjects also I would get, like I would have to get rank of 3000, 2000, 1000 in my NEET PG. So short subjects, how was the pattern? If you can just see, the radiology has surprisingly increased from 4, 5, 6 questions that have been asked. Now they have gone to 10 radiology questions, the barium meal, X-ray, MRI or whatever it is, but they have increased reasonably a good number in radiology, which also goes with dermat, psychiatry, 1 or 2 plus or minus. Orthopedics they have gone for 7. Otherwise almost all remains the same. So these are short subjects, areas where you can spend a moderate time, not much time. Least time could be spent in anesthesia. But concentrate that radiology has increased these days, which was in the short subject, least time 5 to 6, but they have gone to 10 questions. Next slide. Smart strategy for concise subject. So out of this, which I can start focusing. So in short subject, if I want to focus, I would focus on radiology, ortho, ophthalm, because ophthalm is also very short subject. People love to read ophthalm ENT, like overnight, 2 nights, 1 week before they read. It's like reading before intermediate exam. You give a break for your NEET UG preparation and just read in 15-20 days. It's something like that, ophthalm, ENT, and so those areas can be covered here in top priority. Second layer, if you're done with that, then you can go for ENT and derma. Why I kept derma? Because derma is a big area where you have a lot of terminology, clinical conditions, varied and all, so it's big subject. That's why I kept in second layer. Quick revision means snapshots with psychiatry, and last would be anesthesia. If you are interested to spend much time, or you want to focus to get more rank or 4,000 or less than 4,000 or 3,000, then that is the strategy for that. Yeah, next slide. Suppose you are in final year and internship and government versus private. The major difference between government and private is government you have good material, patient material other than the new colleges that have opened. So if you are in ESI, Gandhi, Osmania and other medical colleges that have in and around Sangareddy or which have settled 4 years, 5 years back, there's a good clinical material, you are busy with the material. Please try to justify your time, try to take history, there's no harm in learning. Learn from the patient itself. Whenever you have time to squeeze out bedside, you can read or coincide your NEET PG preparation with that case scenario. Wherever you are posted, try to finish that posting subject during your internship. How to do, what to do, I will discuss. Which internship, which posting, which subjects to cover, keeping NEET PG in your mind or INSET in mind. So government, they have more clinical exposure. Private, God help them, they have more study time. But they are busy taking out reels, interns and PGs or PGs and interns. Or first year, second year, I don't know what's happening in these private medical colleges these days. So it's really high time for them when once they come to the crossroads of the internship. Yeah, next, final year, try to build concepts, like previous slides, yeah. Especially medicine, surgery, OBGY, when you're a final year, if you have final year students, try to build concept as much as possible because don't look at medicine as medicine only. Look at medicine from physiology part. Physiology, microbiology, SPM and medicine. That's what I'm telling you, integrated concepts. You have to integrate each and everything. See, when I do microbiology with any students during my elective postings, it is easy for me. It's like ice on the cake. But when I do microbiology of medicine, microbiology of STD, microbiology of other subjects, this is challenging. I hope you understand. So you have to integrate like that. That is called integration. Microbiology of pediatrics, microbiology of SPM, microbiology of dermatology, microbiology of other things, especially other than anesthesia or whatever it is, then that becomes challenging. So that's how you have to read when you are in your final year. Internship, there's no time for you to read. I mean, it's time to wake up. So you do maximum of your MCQs, your mock test, your grand test, plus revisions. That's what you can do. Either you are in a government setup or private setup. Now you don't have to build concept, that time is gone. In internship, you have to keep on doing your revisions part, you have to go your MCQs and your grand test. Yeah. Internship, what you should do exactly in internship? Let's talk about surgery postings. Yeah. Most questions can be easily targeted by the basic internship knowledge. When you're posted in surgery, definitely you will be, okay, I do understand that what happens in internship is a story behind the curtains, that you are asked to do most of the ward boy work, okay, sheet, write downs, or virtual case sheets, write down, or you have to go do that blood test, that, this, that, and dressing, everything, night duties and all, or you give parties to the postgraduates these days, I don't know, this is trending, I think. You are posted somewhere and PGs ask you some, I don't know, that party or whatever name you want to give. So these things are happening, but what we used to do whenever we used to take the sample to the lab, no, we used to follow it up actually. Our times, I'm talking about our times, see what case it is exactly, what's happening in this lab, what report has come, how is the doctor taking it seriously, what antibiotics are being written, is it empirically or higher level. So microbiology, pharmacology, your diagnosis, the medicine part, if it's a surgery case, OBGY, labor. So we used to integrate and relate like that, and we used to see these things will can come as a question for you anytime we don't know, or come for a discussion, or come as a discussion in the book or whatever it is. So if you are motivated, it's only that it's your attitude, behavior towards your work that can help you out. So postings at surgery, I think definitely you have been exposed to a case of trauma in emergency casualty. You might have exposed to a case of breast lump or fibroid or carcinoma. Thyroid is very common in surgery postings. Your vascular disorders, your interjugular veins, or your insertion of catheters, your genitourinary infections, your GI infections, miscellaneous and instruments, what they are using during examination, PG exam, you have to arrange all those things. So you get familiar with those instruments. Point to be noted, always surgery should be integrated with your radiology, because most of the surgeons do depend on radiology. Your anatomy, as I said, medicine is not only medicine. Medicine is physiology, your microbiology, your SPM, pediatrics, and medicine itself. Like surgery is also your anatomy, your pathology, and your surgical and allied subjects. So have that kind of concept during your internship. OBGY, most questions are asked from obstetrics compared to gynecology. Most questions are asked from obstetrics compared to gynecology. So be thorough with the previous year's tests. That's it. In obs-gynae, you don't have to like familiarize with those things, but previous year's test, because most of the tests which the toppers have found that most of them are repeat or favorite questions of the examiners, and you have lot of image-based questions again in NEET PG, and instruments being used in that procedures, and they have asked. Same topics will be repeated, but in a twisted pattern. Instruments, and especially trimesters. In this trimester, what will happen? This third trimester, what drug is given, what is the effect, or which organism can cause more effect. Pathology to be remembered. PET questions are routinely asked in this subject. Integrate with radiology, anatomy, and pharmacology. So, yeah, it looks different, but whether you know or not, I have been a NEET appraisal officer also. The NTA or the NBMS center from New Delhi. There are so many invigilators, but I am one of the invigilators which I get an official mail. I am one of the NEET appraisal officer, under which I have about 50 invigilators in the Tata Ion Center, where you go and write the NEET PG exam, and the NEET appraisal officer, where you have to just monitor that all the CCTV cameras, sitting places, paper download, everything is AC is there or not. There are a lot of logistics. There is a checklist given to us. So we go one day prior to the exam in your center, the place, and we check. We see that the lock is sealed, everything, then we give. Next day morning we come, and before us it should be open, and see, we say that everything is in place and all. And when I go for rounds when students are writing, I found this. You just have to be calm and compose the questions and don't get stressed about or boggled about what you can do, and definitely you can answer it, but if your preparation is solid and confidently done. Because almost all the microbiology questions, because I am excited and curious what micro questions have come. So by the time I go to 4 floors, I have covered all the 10 questions. And alhamdulillah, okay, I am a professor and that's different with 25 experience. It's easy. But I think from student perspective point of view, you can crack it. Is they just twisted the questions, or they are just almost direct questions are there. They are not coming that tough. I don't know about the other areas and all, but it might also happen with the same other subjects also. Next. PSM more focus on programs, committees, dry, volatile, but you are involved in your field trips. If you are involved with your family adoption program, if you have given seminars during your community medicine department, you will definitely justify your program. But rather than it being a picnic, or I don't know what you do in your field trips or your community health service or family adoption, but there's a lot of learns you can do in your community medicine. And it is a very good book, that Park especially, which covers almost a lot of medicine, microbiology, half of it's microbiology again. Almost infectious communicability is microbiology. Only thing is tough in community medicine, which I feel, is that cohort study and statistics and biostatistics and all. So, but that will really help you out in later on. So, otherwise it's a very good book. It's a Bible of the medicine, the community medicine book. Programs, vaccine, disaster management, occupational hazards, biostatistics, epidemiology, nutrition. These are the most must-know core areas which you have to cover before going to exam, and especially during your internship. And cover it with pediatrics, medicine, and microbiology. Your cold chain, your vaccines, your infectious, all come under this. Again, they are covered on this. Biochemistry, please try to focus more on amino acids, vitamins, carbs, lipids, general, and then molecular should be a part. You should also cover the PCRs and all. They will give questions. 1 or 2 questions from PCR will come. Real-time PCR, multiplex PCR, they also have come. I have seen them. High scoring subject with the direct 7 to 8 questions, direct questions and scopes to have all correct. The beauty of microbiology, they are mostly direct. Pompey's disease, Graves disease, that are PCR, which microorganisms are detected by which PCR, real-time PCR, multiplex PCR, RT-PCR, reverse transcript PCR. So it is direct basically, it's a multiplex PCR. It's a protozoa, virus, fungus and all. So it's the direct questions. Point, make own flowcharts, write important enzymes at a place. So you have to have the typical student room, and do not forget to see this the last day. So biochemistry area, because 7 to 8 questions are direct questions, you can attempt it. Next. So that was about your internship. Must know themes. There are also some areas where I thought you should cover and go, and it's something like you should scan before you. Once you open and close your eyes, like you should have a big picture. So those areas are like 1, biostatistics and screening tests, specificity, sensitivity, true specificity, false negative, false positive. These are some areas which you have to go. The biostatistics, your formula, SD, mean, mode, antibiotics, mode of action, mechanism of action, side effects, resistance pattern, gene, MEC gene or staph aureus. Next, TB regimens. I think there are a lot of changes this. 2026 there are changes in, so one of my friend told me that there are changes. Diabetes mellitus is another big area. Nobody goes without this in the exam. Thyroid from medicine and surgery. Labors, postpartum hemorrhage from OBGY. Radiology, classical signs. What do you call that? Thumb sign, Murphy's sign, hair on an appearance, X-rays, MRI, CT, scan some. Please, that sign, classical signs in radiology. Please go through that. Syndromes and triads. This also you have to have a separate list. What I mean to say is you should have a separate in the 20th notebook, or you have a separate list. Stick it on your wall. Trigger words. Trigger words like fever, neck rigidity, vomitings, meningitis, or he will give a rabies, or he will use cytomegalovirus. Trigger words are something like that, or buzzwords it's called. Buzzwords. You have to have before your preparation should be such solid that when you sit and ask your friend or relative or parents to ask these buzzwords or trigger words, 1, 2, 3, 4, you should, by the time you finish the 4th, 5th, you should be able to answer what organism it is. So preparation should be like that, and you have lot of buzzwords, apps available. You have lot of trigger words apps available. You have Lippincott books, and in that he gives you, or you have flashcards books. You have a lot of flashcard apps also, which I'm going to discuss. Some apps are there. Please go through that. And micropathology, especially learn buzzwords, plus laboratory diagnosis and image-based questions. Again, these questions have been asked much. Rotavirus is a solid, since years I am seeing rotavirus or eggs of parasites, plano-convex eggs, trichuri or bipolar mucus eggs, or rabies bullet-shaped virus shape, image-based question, influenza virus, HIV virus, hepatitis virus diagram. These diagrams, image-based, are the must know or go through before your exams. In microbiology and pathology, the inclusion bodies, NEGRIs, so these are must in microbiology and pathology. Yeah, let's look at the most high yield or repeated NEET PG previous year's questions topic, like medicine. As that was during internship. Now let us look at the area where he has asked in the previous years. Medicine, he has asked many a times in anemia, your diabetes mellitus, hypertension, electrolyte disorders, tuberculosis, cardiology manifestations in medicine, endocrines, your ECG, again a must area, acid-base disorders. Please try to focus on these areas. If you have 4 months, people who are having 4 months, people who have 5, 2, 3, 4 years, at least it's not, you have much time, you're lucky to focus on this area. Surgery, breast carcinoma, thyroid nodules, intestinal obstruction, volvulus or intussusception, hernias, burns, trauma, shock. Believe me, this is a solid preparation done. I have done lot of research and work. These are the most previous year's questions asked till now. OBGY, emergencies, surgeries, instruments. Then you have PSM, health indicators, vaccines, cold chains, must, biostats, screening test, epidemiology. Which vaccines are placed at which temperature? -4, 0, 24 degrees centigrade. He will give you a vaccine bath or a refrigerator. Pathology, most questions have been asked on neoplasia, tumor markers, amyloidosis, leukemias and granulomas. Pharma, antibiotics, mechanism of action, side effects, anti-epileptics, anti-hypertensives, anticoagulants, ANS, CVS drugs and antidotes. Grams bacteria, he can give you gram positive, gram negative. You have to read this question nicely, because gram positive cocci pairs, but you don't read gram positive or gram negative or Neisseria or Streptococcus. There are a lot of that. Again, as I said, you have to have a good night's sleep. You don't have to touch book one night before. You'll get all your overlap, or it will definitely make an impact during your 2 to 5 morning session or evening session exam. So very gram viruses major, like herpes, hepatitis, DNA, envelope virus, helical shape, lot of things are mycology. I have seen many questions mycology, dimorphism, especially histoplasma, coccidomyces, many a times he have asked. Direct questions they have, repeated questions I have seen. Your mycology and your sterilization, he'll ask you about Spalding's classification, your ethylene oxide, biological indicators, your opportunistic fungi, dimorphic fungi. Culture media is again simple, but I think as a microbiologist, I would suggest you to remember at least the salient features or characteristic feature of a bacteria. Like Staphylococcus, see you as a person, you will have some salient features. That's how I can identify. You might be a sports person, or you might be good at literary, you might be good at your Quran recitation around. So I identify that 5-6 features of each organ you should remember. You don't have to remember like your second year microbiology, what I mean to say. At the end of second year, though you are second year microbiology students also, I suggest that after you finish or during the preparation for your NEET PG or INSET, do not forget the 5 or 6 important salient features of those organisms which will help you out to crack the answer. Anatomy, neuroanatomy is the area where they are focusing much. Next, how to study for NEET PG 2026 from April to August. If I have any interns here, like it's almost April, you have April, May, June, July, August, 5 months. It's not the time to go like, I have not done anything till now. There are some students who are like, it's done, I will try next year, I have other responsibilities. Can I do now? Is it possible? Yes, definitely you can do. And I put this as like affirmative quote even in my phone or in my iPad also. There's no harm in seeing these quotes like this, just to self-boost or self-moralize yourself. Rather than having any pictures of animals, birds or scenario, you can have a quote like this, and so that at least you are getting diverted once you, because phone is such a thing you open with any notification. And if you see some quotes like this, it really, okay, what are you doing, where are you, you might, it will make you think, I'm in the track or at least this quote you can have. Next, yeah, phase fund. Like I'm talking for people who are preparing from April to August. Phase fund, what you can do like is April to mid-May. How you divide it till mid-May is goal, active learning, build strong concept. So what you do from April, today is 5th, to mid-May is build concept. Read concept oriented learning with high yield notes. Complete standard textbook reference. I am not asking to refer the textbook, I mean go through the textbooks. It's not the time. This is not the time for you to open. But I would really and strongly suggest, because there are some apps or some platforms where you do some bits, but or the explanation is not right, or you think something is difficult or you want to go back, then you can open a textbook, refer the textbook in that line. It might be Anantanaran or Apurva Shastri or any Davidson or Bailey and Love. Go through one, because it will really make an highlight it. Oh, it is there. Yes, in the textbook it's there, this page and all. It will make an impact or reinforce your doubt and clearance. Then come back to your attacking your PYQs or mock tests. That's how you use your standard reference textbook. Use one consolidated source. See, it could be Marrow, it could be Prep Ladder, DAMS, Bharti, I don't know, XYZ, so many things are there these days. BTR and all. Best, whatever you do, you take one platform. You don't have to have that FOMO kind of technique. Ki, he's doing that, I am not doing that, he has something I don't have. That will never end till your death also. That greed, and there's a human nature, there's no doubt about it. But he's having, I'm not, is he having extra, I'm not having, am I missing anything? Am I neglecting this? So don't have this nature, just stick to once. But if you ask really me, I mean, or at the end of the session, if you ask me, I'll be able to answer what to go through, which material. Start video lectures for weak subjects only. As I said, tough one. You're not confident. I mean, I'll postpone. No procrastination. Start now only. That weak subjects only you have to attack first. Next, begin daily 30 to 50 MCQs, mixed subjects. You don't have to do only micro, you don't have to do only patho or what, but try to do mix. And I mean, some few of OBGY, few of this accumulated kind of stuff. Next, make ultra short notes. This is very, very important. Sticky notes for volatile topics, because you don't have time. So if you have this habit of using highlighters, if you have the habit of sticky notes in your platform book which you have taken, you stick it up there or write down. You make it more color addition. Why? In phase 4 it will help you out. I'll tell you why you have to make that ultra short notes or the sticky notes. Start tracking current trends and updates. Now there are a lot of changes. I said TB regimes have changed now. There are a lot of changes that are occurring. I mean, that also is given in few platforms that you have to also update. Focus in phase 1. It's not the speed. It's still April. It's understanding more than speed. Next, do not aim for 100% retention. You don't get frustrated or boggled up or boiled up saying ki, "Arey, मैं पूरा April to mid-May पढ़ा, but I'm not perfect." No, it is a nature and it's natural that you are not 100% perfect. You won't be able to read it because it's a first reading. It is active learning. If you understand 60 to 70% in the first reading also, you are in track. Next, perfection in first reading is a trap. If you think I am 100% perfect after reading first, it's a trap. Please remove that. 62% retention also done, you have done a great job. Let's go to phase 2, consolidation. Here you have mid-May to June. Mid-May to June. So goal is complete syllabus plus building questions, solving ability. Now here once your first reading is over, Slowly try solving the MCQs and mock tests. Now you should be in a stage where you should be able to attack them. Not correct, wrong is different story. You try to make your 20th notebook and try to come back in your third and fourth phase. In fourth phase you revise. Third phase is still at this phase. So you try to have this building of solving questions ability. Next, second, reading of notes. Third, solve subject wise. Now here that was mixed. You will come to know where I am standing, the actual position after doing. But here when you start solving subject wise MCQs, and also you should increase what was initially 30 to 40. Here you have increased till 60 to 80 MCQs. Like subjects like PSM, Pharma, Patho, high priority. Then start PYQs, even starting PYQs also. Not only your MCQs, just start your PYQs also last 5 to 7 years. Do weekly revision of completed subjects. Now this stage is very important. That's why it's called consolidation phase. You are building up on what you have done. Next, give one grand test every week. Slowly start doing your grand test. Next, focus on linking concept across subjects. Now here is a stage where after you give your second reading, you have to link concept across subjects. As I told you, herpes virus, it comes in STD, it comes in skin and soft tissue infections, it comes in CNS infections. So you have to start linking it. Any bacteria, any pathogen, you start linking in which system it comes. Next, see what topics get you wrong. So definitely you will fall in trap. Do a lot of wrongs here because you're trying to learn your building concept of the question. You have to make a note of that. Revision based learning, not fresh learning. Active learning phase is gone. No fresh learning. Revision based learning, second reading is there. Next, active recall is more than passive reading here. Passive reading was in phase 1. You have to actively recall because you already started making your 20th notebook. Next, phase 3. Intensive practice plus visit, make more focus on the weak areas. See, you start cracking it, you come to know 20th notebook, you start making it. Second time, second revision, building concepts and all. Second revision you do. Third, what you have to do is weak area revisit in July. This is in July, basically July, the entire month of July. Improve your accuracy, eliminate weak zones. Now as you have made weak areas, unsolved, tough questions, or difficult to remember, or definitely you have to memorize it. You cannot do anything. There are so many questions that you have to memorize it. You can't tell. That means you have to memorize so much that you start reading the questions, but you know the answer for it. Why you know the answer is not important. Only God knows you know. In NEET PG, nobody will come and ask you, why this is the answer to the question? Nobody will ask you, no? So, there are few questions which today, proudly I will also say, when I do microbiology indicator for other subjects, there is no reason for it. I don't want to know it. I just want to know what the answer is. But as a teacher, I should know and explain to the student why this is the answer. That much hard work I have to do it. But as a student, you don't have to know it. Why you want to know it? Nobody asks you, no? So those type of questions you have to target. I hope you understand. Now that is the game changers. For those questions, you don't have to waste time. You waste 10, 20, 1 day, 10 days also you won't understand. Unless you are a student or research oriented or a immunologist or a scientist going to that lab and want to know why L1 is the part of the capsid or nucleocapsid, or why rubella is enveloped icosahedral shape. You understand? There are some questions which you don't have to, right? Fine. Increase your MCQs from 30 to 60 to 80 here. Next, attempt 2 grand tests. Initially it was 1, now start going 2 grand tests. Grand test means the entire, you have to sit for 3 hours. And please, when I am talking about grand test, try to sit where you sit for exam. 2 to 5. 2 to 5. I will tell you 2 to 5. What is the importance of grand test? We will talk 3-4 slides before my presentation. Next, maintain a week list topic. Week topics list like biochemistry pathways. This week I will study exclusively biochemistry pathways list. Krebs cycle or HMP pathway or immunology complement pathway or cytokines or autoimmune disorders, pharma mechanism action, PSM formulas, etc. Do deep mistakes analysis. Now third part is very fast. As I told you, July. Do the deep weak analysis part. There you have to focus because you don't have much time and you have worked. I have heard a few toppers interview. I'm talking about all India 1, 2, 3, 4. Many of them had general this thing. We used to do our grand test and we used to come back after the exam and we used to focus only on those areas which we have done mistake, and we will never go ahead or sleep until we get the answer or try to understand or not understand but get the answer for those which we did mistake. Those becomes the toppers. This is one story hidden. Next is, when you do exams and all, the another time efficiency which you can increase for areas which you don't know is, see, which you know, there are some, definitely you are not that students, you are all from good colleges and all. There are some areas which you know default, some questions. Please do not touch them, do not waste time reading those concepts, reading any material, any platform or any videos. Or don't go again also in phase 1, 2, 3, 4 of it. Phase 1 also you eliminate, you know this directly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Try to read once the moderate area where you have to just look once. You will remember. Focus or stress more on which you don't know, or you have done mistakes, or you are very weak. Those areas you have to focus. So we can efficiently use our time that way. Revise images, PVQs integrated, MCQs regular. There are a lot of image-based questions also. There are so many platforms where they give only image-based questions. There are a lot of YouTube videos where they have only image-based questions, and please try to do those kind of stuff. Integrated. Focus on volatile subjects. Try to focus on volatile subjects because they are about 50% of your questions, like microbiology, pharmacology, community medicine. There, I do understand that are not your bread and butter. Medicine, surgery, ortho, radiology, something is interesting, but micro, pharma, patho, you hardly have seen, and you have seen Louis Pasteur doing that or Robert Koch doing it. So it's very volatile. Volatile is like you read 100 times, you still forget. You might be have the best teacher in the world. I might be taking a class, but at the end of 45 minutes, ask the students a question he is not able to answer. So all efforts, time, value, everything is wasted. So those kind of subjects or those kind of topics in those areas, you have to focus because it is your exam, because you are going to attempt it. For that you have to memorize, you have to have mnemonics. You have to have mnemonics, images. You should be observe what thing in image you can capture, and one-liners, buzzwords, formulas, strides, charts, numeric values, clinical decision making. You have to focus on these areas. This phase is very uncomfortable, and that's normal because you have to do a lot of grilling over here. It's a tough call. Either you give up or you don't give up in phase 3. Next, speed plus recall plus calmness decide your rank now. Accuracy plus exam mindset. Here you have to slowly, because it's July, now you have to have the exam mind. You have to get very serious and do lot of sacrifices, lot of consistency, focus at this end of July. Next, phase 4, final revision plus peak performance. Here you, after you have done your weak areas, your notes, 20th notes, everything, here you just have to revise. And as I told you, the very high weightage, short subjects, and maximum retention plus score optimization. Now you have to increase your score slowly here. Scores 120, 140, 150, 160, 180, whatever it is, and give one grant test every 2 to 3 days. Not week, but every 2 to 3 days keep on doing it, work on it, and areas where you have done mistake, work on it. Practice elimination techniques plus clinical reasoning. Now you have to come to a stage where out of 4 options, at least 2 you should be able to eliminate. Now out of the 2, it's a challenging thing. What will you take and all, that depends upon your recalling and retention. Revise high yield content only in phase 4. High yield content which I gave you, a list of high yield content, that areas and all. Next, last 5 to 6 previous questions papers, it's YouTube will have lot of subject wise or general, you can try to attempt them also. Important tables in pharmac, micro, PSM because they are all volatile. Must know images and diagrams. I mean, what you are doing here is making your job easy. You are just revising it. You are just having a look on it. You are just turning your pages. You are going through the 20th notebook. Triads, scores, staging. Last 10 to 12 days, full grand test. Back to back, analysis, light revision cycle. So as the days are approaching, your comfortability level, comfort zone should be maximum. No news sources. At this time, don't get tempted. Like rapid revision series, please attend subscription. You want this time of this, please don't go. You have done your great job. You are satisfied. Keep practice light 50 to 80 MCQs per day. Focus on proper sleep. Now what you have to focus here as the 15th August is coming. Proper sleep, hydration and consistency. 6 to 8 hours sleep. Next, avoid burnout. Stick to your system. Stick to your timetable. Stick to your curriculum. So if you are just following this, I'm very much sure that you can crack it. Next, calm mind and maximum recall. Like you have to just sit down and you take a topic front. You just have to turn put away the book, take a paper, write down whatever you are able to recall. Fast, you are handwriting, scribble up one word you write down. Okay, then open the book. almost 80 to 90% you will be able to recall. 20-30% you won't be able to recall. Work on those areas only. That much. That's what you have to do before or in the month of August. I hope you understand. You don't have to read. You just have to close the book, open the book, see the topic. Anemia. What you are able to recall anemia? As an examiner, what questions you can ask? Okay, if this question is this, just write down. But write down something. Scribble it up. Fill the white paper, second white paper. Now turn the book. You just see what you have written. Oh, without seeing the book only, just recalling, able to understand this much. What you missed, focus on those areas. This is what you have to do in phase 4. Active recall, space. No, this is very important. This is technique. Now I'm talking about strategies for you to remember that volatile subjects or tough areas, weak areas. There is something called 13721 rule. I think everybody knows about this. This is mostly followed by the UPSC preparation. People who are preparing for UPSC aspirants, the IAS, IPS and your IFS services. But we have Pomodoro technique. I know everybody knows about the Pomodoro technique. That's also a very good technique. You study for like 15 minutes, take a 5 minutes break. But that break should not have social media. That break is not for notifications and seeing any kind of social apps. Then again 15 minutes, again 5 minutes break, 15 minutes, 5 minutes break, or you slowly can increase, or you can take a long study and take a 15 minutes break. It's a very good technique. I used to read it, I used to tell it, but I usually go as PG. Why I'm telling you, it's a personal experience. I used to go as PG examiner also, MD postgraduate examiner almost all throughout the Karnataka, and then I was called at Nagpur, and a very prestigious institute where you have 25 postgraduates in a slot. 25 postgraduates admission in a year. That means I have to ask 25 postgraduates questions. And when I left Deccan, I left that PG. It was a gap for me. To ask a postgraduate questions, that standard has to be that level, no? So even for that, I have to prepare first. So I had that books, so I had to go through each. But I was busy with my routine schedule, UG level and all the business stuff. So what I did, the only time I had is telling bye-bye to my family and going in a train, get there. So 1.5 days, 2 days in the train, I used to open that book. I don't know why I felt I should apply this technique. Let me see if it works out or not. And it worked out very wonderfully. And in the train I used to study, open some app, watch some YouTube comedy, something like that, fresh. Then suddenly I realized I have to study. This is just for break I took, no? So I used to opt it, go back again, finish a title or finish a system, take a break. It really worked out well. I don't know why. I didn't apply so many years back. But by the time I read Nagpur, I had finished and I had to like brush up myself basically. So it went on well. So that's, I really applied, it works out. But this is another revision technique where in day 1 you learn, day 3 you do first revision, day 7 you do a second revision, day 21 you do a final revision. It's a 137 revision technique. It's available in your any social media and Google or ChatGPT and your YouTube. Can I go to the next slide? Yeah, why MCQs, mock tests are important? But I feel many of the students read platform videos, afterwards I'll do, or if I do, I'll come to know my scores because I don't know where I'll stand. They don't do the MCQs and mock tests. But please, you have to do. Why? Because you identify your knowledge gaps. Reveal weak areas that need immediate attention. This is basically the other part of the story. Unless you do your exam, how will you come to know where you are? So you have to do your mock test, you have to do your grand test, you have to do your MCQs regularly, as I have mentioned in your phases. Improve time management. You will be able to improve time management, very important. Because since first year I have seen many of the students, time bas newa, your questions lamba, they always find with the question paper or the questions asked in NEET. So unless you sit, as I told you, your grand test should be your 2 to 5 slot. 2 to 5 slot. Be prepared that it shouldn't be AC, because you have seen so many centers where there are air coolers or ACs are not there. Have that kind of atmosphere in your home also or wherever you sit. Sit with that kind of, it's a hot summer. Okay. You might be having washrooms or a water, but not more than that. And you are on your own, you might be sweating, you might be dehydrated, it's a humid weather. Try to kind of cultivate that kind of atmosphere only. 2 to 5 is your timings. Practicing pacing to 200 questions, 3.5 hours. Next, build exam stamina. You will feel, they give up in mid also. So once you get acclimatized, initially you might be able to see like 1.5, 2 hours, 2.5 hours, 3 hours. So it will test yourself. We are able to sit for 3 hours or not. Are you so much restless or you gave up so easily and all? So as you keep doing your grand test, you will understand. That's the reason why mock test and MCQs tests are important. You familiarize the interface. When you start doing this test only, you will be able to formalize, no? Those platform on which you have grand test, when you expose themselves, because it's a grand test where you are categorized as per your rule and marks and rank among other students also. It's not only you are writing, it will also give you performance with other candidates who have attended the grand test. Success mantra, what toppers do? 1. Active recall. Instead of rereading, that's I told you, they don't read again. They just close the book, try to put the pen on the paper, test yourself by closing the book and writing down key points. Second, shorten notes. You remember I told you, prepare that highlighters, points, bullet points, sticky notes. Then they go for that. Using keywords, tables, diagram to make revision fast and efficient. You should have this habit of just go to Himalaya or any stationery, try to buy those things and try to use them. Sunday routine. Sunday is not for break or not for festivals, marriages or celebrations, but it's something which you have to do separately to cover the backlogs of topics studied throughout the week. This is just for 4 months, 5 months. It will decide your life. You have to decide that, what you have to do. Revision technique is proven method to use by top aspirants to enhance memory, build strong retention and avoid last minute stress. It's not that you have done your best job, you have worked for 17 to 88 hours of the day, but if there is no revision, nobody can do anything. You have to revise because subjects are like that. Half of the portion of the subject will not helpful for you in life, but 90% will be useful for you to attempt the exam and crack NEET PG. Next. Active error log. As I told you, maintain a living document organized by a system or a topic. What errors you have done, what unanswered questions, what were the tough questions, what was new questions. This you have to have your error log. It's called the error log book. Revisit weekly to systematically plug your concept. Why you want to keep revisiting? Because you are doing the mistake. See, when I sat with my students in the elective, there was elective posting with final year part 1 completion. So I thought what I should do with them. Few of the students in PCR, some were in culture lab. So that batch which came to me, I thought why not I do NEET PG marrow with them. They were also very happy. They were great feedback. Every day used to come, we used to sit for 2 hours, 3 hours and all. We used to crack NEET PG. They were also very happy. They came with their iPad and all. We used to sit and there were a lot of errors which I was doing it. Because I'm not teaching the NEET PG students. No, my students are UG MBBS students or MD Microbiology students. NEET PG is a different orientation. So tough questions which I do mistake, immediately I take a screenshot. I go home, I work on that and see that I never do, and again I revisit. Today also on my phone I have that screenshots. So I keep revisiting that till I see that I do not do a mistake. In a position that I will be able to explain the students why this is the answer, why this is not the answer, or able to tell the students, see, I am so sorry, even I don't want to go into these research and do it's rocket science, whatever it is. So by default I know this answer, better you also know the answer like this. Don't waste time much on it. That much advice I can give. Clinical integration, link basic sciences to clinical vignettes. Always link your micro, pharma, anad, biochemistry, uric acid levels. If he gives like say 42-year-old farmer has come to you, medicine OP admitted with increased urea, okay, increased creatinine levels and complaining of conjunctival shuffling and is admitted with hypovalium or whatever. So what is your diagnosis he will give you? So A, scrub typhus, B, rickettsia, C, leptospirosis, D, some metabolic disorders he gives you. So he is talking about liver and kidney. Creatinine is kidney, urea is liver, hepatorenal syndrome, Weil's disease is jaundice. So he is talking about your leptospirosis. So that's how I am telling you to integrate the subjects. So biochemistry, microbiology, or your CSF levels, protein, sugar, increase, decrease, it will vary. It is a bacterial origin or a TB origin or viral origin. So that's how you have to integrate. And lot of diagnostic images you have to keep on seeing, lab data interpretation, case scenarios, and well-being and consent. These are all the toppers' secret success I am talking about. Prioritize 6 to 7 hours of sleep. Don't get your sleep disturbed. See, our religion is like that. We wake up in the morning, right? So it's better. I suggest if I would have been in your place. See, I have improvised my microbiology much add-on when I had an accident when I was returning from Asra hospital, where I had my posting 7th, 8th. I had an accident. I had a mucosal tear inside, I had sutures and all. And I was like a kind of depressed at home, sitting, I had to take medical leave. So I was thinking, I don't know, so much of thinking what will happen, teaching this has gone, will I able to do performance. Then my wife sat with me. suddenly we had the USMLE books. I also, let me stop here and say, please go through if you have time, USMLE Step 1 First Aid. 2026 models. There are a lot of mnemonics, especially microbiology. I don't know other subjects, but it's worth going through. If you are in first year, second years and third years, I still strongly recommend it. Please buy, or it's available free on internet, First Aid USMLE 2026 book. Please go through. It's a wonderful book. You will fall in love with that book. Lot of good mnemonics, good concept, and it will add on to your daily routine, and also the videos of USMLE, Baker's boards and beyonds and all. Okay, coming back to this thing. So when I was at home, my wife used to sit beside me and used to keep on asking USMLE buzzwords, these triads or trigger words, and used to crack them. That really boosted me. And the kids are very small, I mean, might be 3 years, 4 years. We used to make them sleep. I used to put an alarm at 3 o'clock in the night. I used to wake up at 3 o'clock in the night, used to study those. I mean, separate other than the Anantanaran or whatever book. The USMLE books, Najib, I think everybody has heard about Najib videos. All those videos of microbiology I've watched. The pharmacology, his name is, I'm not Raymond, I think. Awesome, I feel in pharmacology. Even I can teach pharmacology, antimicrobials, everything. Pathology, Abdul Sattar. Neuroanatomy is awesome. So it's not that only microbiology, infectious diseases is again microbiology part. So if you have time, you are still in first year, second year, please go through these videos. So it really will help you out. It will change your total orientation. It will give you a solid, concrete, reinforced concept. Nobody can change you. So this is what you should think. Next, what toppers don't do. First, resource overload. As I said, missing out. I mean, did I miss out and all? They are not bothered about what's happening with others and all. They are very straight, on track. They know that they are doing a good job. They have been doing their grand tests, they are doing the mock tests, they are doing the performance. The graph is going up, so they don't get disturbed, especially before exams and all. And chasing too much study materials instead of mastering one core source. Skipping PYQs, procrastination or wasting time. Passive reading other than active recall. Reading notes without testing yourself through MCQs. As I said, you have to do MCQs. Keeping on reading doesn't fetch you much. Ignoring mock analysis. This has to be done. Your mock test analysis has to be done. You have to keep a track of your progress. Taking grand tests but not reviewing explanation and log errors. Exam week burnout. Cramming new topics in final days and compromising on sleep. These toppers don't do. Something new topic, somebody has talked about this, did you read, that you did read, leave it off. Whatever I read, I read it. If it comes good, well, doesn't come, well and good. Revision techniques that actually work. Active recall is must. Whenever you find time in buses, in trains, metros, washroom, restroom, intern's room, bedside, your DMO's room, try to recall. As you recall your religious book, whatever it is, try to recall this till exams. When you are eating food. Okay, so try to keep recalling what did you read, are you able to recall this? This has to be, because it will go till exams, at least you have to have this. So have this habit of, this apps which I was talking, use flashcards. There's some 2 good apps which I found you can download in your mobile phones. Noji is one app, I don't know how many people know about that. Very good, awesome, it gives you a question, you have to answer it, then he gives you option, was it too tough, was it moderate, was it easy? So you have to click. So depending upon your standard of leveling of answer, it keeps on adding questions, your subjects. Noji is one app. Another app which is Revisable. Revisable is also another app which is having a flashcards of all your 19 subjects. It's a very good app where you have a flashcards. It again gives you a very good memory and active recall, which you can give if you are very tech savvy. And if you want to go through these iPad and iPhones, you can use these 2 apps to practice questions, self-quizzing to strengthen memory pathways. Space revision, as I said, 137, 21 days is definitely there. Mnemonics and visual aids are very, very much. And acronyms, visual association for complex drugs classification, disease pathway. See, Shigella, I told students like 4 species are there. Shigella, Sony, Boydii, Flexneri and dysentery. BSFD dot, border security force dot, do or die. So 4 species you can remember. Cholera, red reaction. There are a lot of mnemonics in microbiology. You can go through, there are a lot of YouTube videos, apps, Instagram reels. So try to have those mnemonics. easiest one. Don't try to have mnemonic of mnemonics. It will become very tough. Like these rascals may microscopically lack color is a very good USMLE first aid. I mean, which are the bacteria which do not take up gram stain? These rascals may microscopically lack color is a okay good mnemonic. Okay, and again bacteria which cannot be cultured, or these questions again. Lobosus, rhinosporidisis cannot be cultured, pneumocystis cannot be cultured, M. leprae cannot be cultured, which cannot obey Cox posture. These questions, exceptions have to be must read through. Again, which I forgot to tell you, all of the following are except. This is not one of the following. Those questions you have to read twice the stem of the question. Definitely there will be distractor. It is more tough for the examiner to set a question actually more than the student. So you have to in a position at the end of phase 4 to eliminate at least two. Two only should be a tough fight for you to select what is one. Last, focus on weak areas, which I keep on telling students, that is the area where you have to focus more actually, strong on weak areas. Like pay special attention, try to recall, try to have look at the 20th notebook. Next slide. Exam daily readiness, confidence. So see, once you keep doing this phase 4, which advices which I have given you or the PowerPoint, definitely the secret at the end of the day is MCQs plus revision. Avoid resource overload. Don't try to get messed up, boggled up with lot of platforms. Only one platform, one track, one record. Next. Exam day execution strategies. See, the 3 pass method should be applied in the exam. Pass 100% sure once you attack first. Once you go through your 40 questions in your 42 minutes, first keep on doing what you know exactly, fast. Like a Macfadden reaction, Basses anthracis, okay. Like what do you call, Ashdown colonies, Burcold area. Whatever you know first, keep on doing it. Then come back to what you know, 50-50 elimination. Last, lengthy cases. There are some cases which have been given, I don't know for what reason. 6 lines, 7 lines, 8 lines, some words will, you keep them at last. That's how you go about, rather than going by question and your emotions are going like PQRS interval of ECG. So what you know first, try to attack them, come back again, 50-50. Third phase you come, you quietly, calmly read the question, read twice. If you're not able to do that also, you can take a deep breath. There's no harm. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, stop it, release it 2 times. Try to go to your study room where you used to study. Try to open the book. It will come somewhere, something will clinch. Or in a classroom, some teacher might have taught somewhere. But with a calm mind, Now that calm mind will come only, as I told you, when your circadian rhythm before the exam changes. Not that you are struggling before the exam like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the night and all. As I told you, 3 o'clock, again let me come back to the story. 3 o'clock is the best time to wake up. Because if you come to the exam with a burnout brain, no, it also needs rest, and your brain is adjusted not to wake up the entire night and come back to the exam and write down. It also needs rest, burnout. So 3 o'clock is the best time, or at least 5 o'clock, 5:30 in the morning is also very good time to wake up. 10, 11, I think 12, I cannot say because you are all Gen Zs, at least 12 maximum you should sleep. At least till NEET PG preparation. After that you wake up 1, 2, 3 is a different story. Because there are some things which you can postpone for next day morning. There is no hurry. See, even I have that idea, ki before my MD microbiology exam, I have that concept, ki I will sleep, I will get sleep only after I finish this portion only. Or else I cannot sleep. Something is remaining like that. But just before MD microbiology, I realized that, no problem, 10 o'clock exam, morning 5:30 I will wake up, I will sleep fresh, I can revise. That much time is, 5 to 6 to 7 to 8 to 9 is there. So I strongly made up ki I can do that. So morning I used to wake up, time was there, I had time to revise, and is there. I mean, what I mean to say, everybody has 24 hours. Everybody has 24 hours. How you utilize it, how you mentally be strong, how you plan your hours is very important for you. Don't have ki I will have to complete, then only sleep, or I might miss this, or this will come exam, what I will do, or I'm not able to recall all these things. Leave it off. So you have done your job. 4 phases, you have done your job. He is there. You have done your sacrifice, he is there. You have done your job. If he thinks, if he wants, you have done your hard work. He will give you what you deserve. Be content in life. That's what I can say. See, next. Exam day strategy, rest well. Very, very important. That's why I kept one. Most of the students neglect this. You have to rest well. I have seen students, now that is not secondary MBBS or university exams. It is NEET PG exam. 60,000 seats are only there all over India. 1 mark, 10,000 students, if I'm not mistaken, are there on that. 1 mark, and that is negative marking. You'll fall back. I mean, why? Because you want seat of your specialty of your choice. So everything counts. Next, stay calm, compose. You have lot of prayers and all. So many prayers are there. You can just have to recite. For this is there, for that is there, for left, right, up, top, bottom, everything is there. So you can keep on reciting that instead of going through Marrow or whatever books is there. Next, read carefully. Whatever reading in exam, read carefully the question. Twice, thrice, look at the options, come back, go option wise to the stem wise to the options, but do it. Take your time, but do it correctly. Manage your time properly, because I told you now 40 questions, 42 minutes are only there. Yeah. Your time, your future awaits. So kindly embrace your journey. Consistent effort definitely will help you out. Small consistent effort from day one. If you are in first year, second year, third year, it will bring a commendable, remarkable outcome. Strategic planning, focused preparation, regular assessment can be done, unwavering belief. Try to keep talking to yourself, you have done a great job. Try to pacify, try to tap yourself, try to award yourself, try to give a good break and moral boost yourself. What I mean to say is, you award yourself basically. Go eat ice cream or go talk to your parents or go, behave like a happy or what you call self-celebration should be there among you. Your dedication, hard work will really open doors to the medical specialty of your choice. So the journey is really challenging. Everybody is going through the same phase, but rewards are immeasurable and you have got this. So success is waiting and you just have to be consistent, focused and disciplined. Thank you very much. Any questions I would try to welcome from your side. How many interns are here? 6, 7, ek bhi nahi hai. So you are lucky to hear this at first years, second years, okay, third, final years, plenty of them are okay. So your exam will be your next year, no? Final year means 2020. नहीं 7 में रहता एग्जाम हम लोगों का 27 में रहता. Might be they are preparing interns have not come or they know each and everything. I think might be. Which college from? How many people from Deccan? Yeah. Any questions I can take up? Now, if you ask me seriously, which platform? Because I've gone through prep ladder, they are mixed actually. It's something like which book to study is a big question. Any platform won't have everything. And as you see today, I'm speaking for Marrow, tomorrow I'll speak for prep ladder. Tomorrow I'll speak for DAMS. So, but I found when I was going through prep ladder videos and DAMS and Marrow would be having an upper edge, what I feel. I'm not promoting here anything. Because I have gone through each and everything in detail, the way they have prepared the notes and the presentation, which I have seen with NEET exam questions are almost 19-20. This is one thing which I would share. And they have this something called pearls also. Pearls of microbiology, biochemistry also. You have to be like on tips with it, and you have a lot of image-based questions. Then another beauty thing of Marrow, they have come out with the world of revision. Though Shivakshi Shakshi speaks for the regular Marrow, but we have a very good microbiologist, Dr. Nasir from Bangalore, I think. He is doing that rapid revision. Awesome. Like people, if you don't have time, especially interns, you still have time. Final years can start that. Rapid revision from Marrow, they have started world of revision. With your MCQs and grand tests is also too good. Too good. I mean, very authenticated. And also when I was looking at the authenticity and the correctness, 1 to 2% of mistakes I do found in Marrow, which I have conveyed them, but compared to other, relatively better. Definitely everybody does a mistake, not that I am perfect. So the chances of errors and mistakes are very much minimal in Marrow platform, which I found. So that is one thing I found. I thought I would share with you. See, any exam is an exam, there's no doubt about it. See, you have time? 2 minutes, then I can wrap it up. See, I never thought, I finished my MD in 2007, micro. Then I thought, was done with the exams and today from my job. So I became assistant, then became associate, then I became professor, HOD, vice principal, in charge dean, then diagnostic microbiology, then clinical microbiology, then I did certificate course in infectious diseases, then I did certificate course in infection control, then I did ethics research, BCBR, then I did advanced course in medical education. I am the MU coordinator also. So my wife wants me to do PhD. So almost I am around 50 years. Then it takes more 3 years for me to do PhD. I said, let's stop here. I mean, it's exam and exam. You have to be a student again. But there was one course when I was doing in Deccan, I think COVID time, 2020, 2019. Then few of my friends came and told, we'll do MHM, Masters in Hospital Management from Osman University under Deccan School of Management. Then I was related. Last day, all ticket they came and we filled the form and just casually gave. We wrote the exam at Osmania. Then we got selected in the merit list. How and what I don't know. Hardly we studied and general knowledge we did and we got selected. And it was a 2 years course. 1, 2, 3, how many semesters? 1, 2, 3, 4 semesters I think. 2 years course, and there were some subjects which I have never heard in life also. Accounting, financial, supply chain management, the subjects I am talking about. But I used to go to classes also to Dar es Salaam to attend, among which I think I was only the senior person. All were either BDS students or BSc Microbiology, MSc or some other, two other than one other person was also a doctor, Dr. Subani I think. Then we were studying and he never used to attend classes, and whenever classes there we used to go write exams also. Exams, and okay, we were doing better because we had to justify mainly our job which is at OSC hospital, responsibility. And this like was a part-time for us. We used to go, but we used to go daily. Exams we used to write, COVID time, we used to write online exam, and you know how exams are written online. You know, we used to study, Siri was there, and so we finished our internal exam basically. Then we had external exam. One center was at Apollo Medical College, one was in Deccan and another was so they passed, and finally I had to change my job. As I told you, I left Deccan and I had to join, then I lost interest studying, I lost the track. So 2 semesters I gave, 3rd semester I didn't give, and then I started, I was all alone, almost all passed. The entire 60, we had a super 60 batch. You have to behave like a student, right? I was also a student, and I understood how tough it is when you sit at that chair and when somebody is teaching you and what are the logistics, that homeworks and accounts was, though I secured maths 100 and 100, but this is a different ball game. That the formula, that almost like bank depreciation, appreciation, that I did never understand. It's not my what do you call, plate of platter, whatever you call. Then, but the good news was internal exams, because madam was their principal. She knew that I am professor of microbiology. You know what happens in internal exam marks. Luckily, she gave 18 out of 20, 17 out of 20. Theory marks you have to get, I think, out of 100, 40 to pass. 35, 40 to pass. So the 35 plus this internal marks added, you pass basically. If you get, 40 marks out of 100 you get, you will pass. So 19 I got. So 22, 23 I have to get in theory, some marks like that it was there. So everybody passed, and 4th semester came. They told me also, you come and write. I lost interest totally. When I lost Deccan School of Management. I lost interest in MHM. Everything I leave it off, I thought. But my friends keep on, hey, you come please, nothing is happening, full free. Nothing is happening, you can just write exam like that. Everybody is cheating, all these things. How can, this is impossible, I cannot do all those things. Sir, please come, you write on, I cannot do all those things. Then I am coming from Vikarabad, taking leave, newly college ignorance. So to cut short the story, I couldn't do the 3rd attempt. 4th attempt I was started preparing. That means you have to write both semester exams at one time. And when I went to the Mehboob Panchatantra College, I think, Secunderabad, SD Patel Road, exams were starting, and I was like backlog student. So I did my solid preparation with this kind of concept, that recall, write down with whatever you know, I have to recall. YouTube videos I used to watch, because now classes are over. So what topic I just put on YouTube videos, I had to prepare my own notes. Notes are given by the college, that notes and YouTube videos, own notes I used to prepare. Those notes only 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7 revisions I did. You have to do revision is important, that's what I'm talking. Videos, you prepare your notes, what notes, which is easy as per you prepare your notes. Those notes again highlight, put sticky notes. Next day morning, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 1 hour exam, 10 o'clock exam was there, you revise. Always before exam, one more thing I used. take a fresh warm bath, offer your namaz, then go to the exam. That energy will come. Fresh you have to be, fresh warm bath, wear nice clothes, confident, eat nice, and go to the exam. So I have this habit of going like this to exams. So when I went to Mehboob Panchadran College, nobody is found. Nobody is seen. Nobody has come to write the exam. Time is, more half an hour only. Then I called one friend. Center यही है ना बोल के बोला. अरे बाप वहीं रुको तुम. अब आहिस्ता 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 आते लोग. मेरे के साथ भी ऐसे हुआ. Then I thought, what life it is. My professor HOD and do I really need this? Where like hall is there, nobody else, and exam. So okay, fine, no problem. You have to write the exam, no? So when I was preparing also at home, whenever me and my wife we study in study room, and whenever she sits, we both talk only. Either she talks something, I have to answer. Either talk, she has to listen. But I'm studying seriously. Then my son was also there. Then I was studying so seriously. Why are you taking so much stress? Leave that bag and get exam. MHM, what do you want to do with that? You already professor HOD, you settled. What difference is making in the exam? Then I got insulted basically. What are you talking? I'm preparing. In fact, you should boost me up. Already I lost the track. I'm a backlog student. And I'm preparing. Then my son scolded her also. Mummy, Papa को छोड़ दो ना, पढ़ रहे हो ना seriously, आप उनको ऐसा बात कर रहे हैं. So then I thought I have to leave that place because I'm with her, I will talk. Emotional bonding is there. Then I went to another room. I went to her room and started separate table, chair, and everything. I started see what I want you to learn from this. I hope you're understanding. If you want to do, nobody can stop you. And I did my solid preparation. I went to the exam. Slowly people came, full machara hai. Then they put that mosquito coil in the examination hall. They gave the paper. Alhamdulillah, I wrote. Everything was 6 subjects, all 6 plus 6, 4 plus 4, I think 8 subjects I wrote. Back to back exam. I could take leave and all. But there was one subject which I don't know anything. That financial accounting especially. But the beauty of that paper is, 4 questions of formulas will come. And 2-3 essay questions, 3 questions will come. The 3 questions I read. So out of the 4 questions are repeated. Luckily in MHM, questions are repeated over the years, like PVQs. So out of that, for that 4 questions, I read 10 questions perfectly. Theory, God help me. If 3 questions comes, I'm going to write down. If that questions come, I'm not going to write down. It's 0. I didn't go for time, but 3 questions are solidly prepared. So I went to the exam. That day, 6-7 formula questions came. 3-4 only 3 questions came. But nasty or intelligently or what you call criminal mind, I answered the formulas questions also. I wrote something. Therefore, the 2 plus 1 plus 5 is equal to. Therefore, the answer is 3.54. The question agrees with the questions and all the answer. So this answer, I don't know it's right or wrong. I don't know. I just fill the paper. But theory questions I tried to attempt it, but I was getting around 21, 22 on the border. So if I pass this, I will pass everything. Then he told, madam, please, I don't know how I wrote, but internal का आप देख लो marks 19 डालो और 17, 18 मत डालो. एक मार्क भी फर्क पड़ता है मेरे को मेरी लाइफ में. She luckily put Manisha ma'am that you won't believe after I wrote my exams quietly came in spite of all these troubles and challenges. I came home one day the results came. Alhamdulillah I passed. One question only answered myself. I asked myself कि if I am not going to crack this exam and pass, I won't be able to set an example or talk like this on any platform to any student who says I can't do it. So if there's a will, there's a way. You just have to have that motivation, that thought process. After 17 years, 18 years of gap also I could do it. And you won't believe, we lost the touch of writing. 3 hours exam. Back to back pens refills were getting over, and this pain you understand. Because we are all now system wise at this level of professor, why you want to write 3 hours exam? So this happens. So you have to go through that pain and sacrifice, but it will fetch you another degree of MHM. You can become a medical superintendent or you can take a post like this, dean or whatever it is. So this is the carry message. Please don't give up. It's not that we are all living. We have passed through COVID times. Alhamdulillah, such a good noble profession where you can justify akhirah and also dunya. There's a lot of pious things that added up. So, but try to take surgical branch especially. That's good. It depends upon you, and dermatology, whatever it is left to you. But study well, try to get good marks. Okay? Anything from your side, or we'll close it up? Yeah, please.
So which is better to choose? Redness or